Hello.
Ah!
Well,
I had to be the annoying one for once.
and he doesn't allow me to say the 3 words. Can I say them now?
No.
Can I say your middle name?
A's?
Your middle name is Doctor.
My full name is Mayonnaise Doctor. Who knew?
How do I play this again?
Oh, you're already playing it!
I forgot. Mom! Get the camera!
Oh no!
Welcome to another Riku grinding part where we get to grind out Riku, our favorite person in all of Kingdom Hearts. I love Riku. Gosh, Riku is the greatest person in the history of the universe.
You can hear the sincerity in his voice.
I love Riku.
See? Sincerity.
I love it when Riku is like, darkness!
Guys, it's only been 90 seconds and he's already falling apart.
Hi, how you all doing today? I'm doing alright, thanks for asking. I'm not crazy, you're crazy.
I mean, yes. I have a lot of games on my repertoire that make it so that I cannot argue that point. I played Bubsy 3D.
I already don't want to play it. It's like a running theme whenever I play this game. Like if I was like, say I was doing this on my own time, right? I probably would have.
You would have stopped already.
Yeah, I probably would have been like, you know, actually, I don't wanna.
Or at the very least, you would have put on some background noise to listen to over this, because the audio. This is a grinding game thrown through. You do not need to listen to this audio over and over.
I love audio. I love video games. Ah! So I guess I'll take this time to just talk to Mayo. How's your day been, man? How you been doing, dude?
Still sick, man, but getting there.
On a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being really sick and 1 being, like, basically not sick, how sick are you?
3 maybe.
That's what I was
Yeah, not
actually
that bad.
guessing. What were you yesterday?
If I'm a 3 today, it would have been before yesterday.
What about the day before? Is it just like it goes up by 1 or rather down by 1 per day?
Not necessarily, because then I would have ended up like an 8 on day 1, and that doesn't make any sense.
When did you get sick? Like when was the day you
It was
started?
Sunday. Of course it was the day.
Was it 13th of the month?
No, that's oh, I have some bad news for you, buddy. Look at today's date. Yeah, well, now you all know when we're recording this.
It's alright, it's just like, what, 4 days in advance, I think? 5? I don't know. It's fine.
Thursday, and this goes up like Tuesday, I think.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a bit more advanced than we usually record, but we wanted the buffer.
That and CNK's over, ho ho ho!
Yeah, that's why our schedule's all screwy, because we're in the transition phase between CNK and Nitro Fuel.
Love Nitro.
Not even out yet.
I still haven't pre-ordered the game. You might be wondering why, and there's always a part of me. This is just like me with games in general, but there's like a part of me that's just like, what if it's really bad though? And I don't want to get it. You know what I mean?
Not necessarily.
Do you ever, so you don't ever get that feeling of like that dread kind of, like a game that you want or looking forward to might be really bad, so you don't pre-order it until like the very last minute? Some games I do that.
Not necessarily bad, so much as boring. Like, I will be the first to admit that I waited a while on Team Sonic Racing, although Team Sonic Racing had a plethora of issues. For one, you couldn't pre-order digitally till the 11th hour. That was really annoying.
What's it called?
The physical version seems like sketchy site the best.
A lot of games I pre-order like very last. Well, there's some games, or a vast majority of games I've actually pre-ordered at what's it called? Like right when the review embargo came out, or like just so sometimes it'd be like literally 2 days before the game would come out or something, just so I could pre-order it then. I don't know if Amazon is still doing right now, but I don't know if this is like an all-time, like forever thing, but if you have Prime, they're doing 1-day shipping at the moment.
They was doing that with TSR at least.
I think they...
And I think that was the first time I'd ever pre-ordered a game off of Prime.
I think they're... Do you get a discount because you work?
Yes, I do.
How much is it a year instead of $100? I mean, $100 is still really good if you use Prime or Amazon.
Oh no, I was not about Prime. I was talking about for the games.
What do you mean?
Like,
oh, you get a discount on the game.
You get a discount on the game.
How much?
It's by a percentage, but like for example, when I was using the Final Fantasy VII Remake, it ended up being $77 with. But that's what tax factored in too, so it would have ended up being like $87, $88 on its own.
So you save a solid. How much? What's the percentage then? I don't know.
It's usually at or a little below 10%.
Not bad. That adds up over time, so it works out in the grand scheme of things. It's pretty good. I mean, most places that you end up working at anyways usually give you some sort of, what's it called? Some sort of discount. Like, it's pretty normal. Like, everywhere I've worked, we get a discount. So.
Yeah. And of course, if I can get a discount anywhere, like, that's like the #1 company would want one.
I worked at Party City, which, by the way, everyone never worked there. But... I have not even for a first job. Just gotta preface that. I think we had like a really good discount over there. It was like 40% or something absurd.
Pretty good. Shame it's Party City.
Yeah.
Also, this isn't Gex.
I know. Well, I mean,
you need to find a terrible place to work in time for Gex 3. It's gonna be weird.
You know, it's a terrible place to work. Your mom's house. End me.
My mom's work at home.
Oh, lucky. What does she do?
It would take more than a couple sentences to explain that.
Oh, so it's not like, you know, just like office work, but at home it's not like that. It's
no.
Like...
It's a bit more complicated than that. Although that is part of it.
My mom works home on Fridays because she works in an office. Mine, I guess, would be on the same sort of idea, except my mom doesn't really work from home all the time, but it would be hard, or it would take a while for me to explain.
Yeah, same. Like, it was kind of a necessity in our case because my brother always has to be fairly close to him.
It's fair. Makes sense. Makes a lot of sense. I mean, when somebody has a severe mental disorder, you kind of need somebody with
your options are limited.
I mean, granted, I have a severe mental disorder, which is anxiety, but I don't need someone.
Your mental... I wouldn't call yours severe, though.
No, it is severe. It's marked as severe. So, yeah, it's legally marked
even if it is legally. Because, like, it's not to the point where it's giving you mental retardation or anything.
No, that's... Autism wouldn't do that. That would be... Or not... No, autism would do that. I meant to say, anxiety. Sorry, a lot of disorders start with the word, or with the letter A, so I can get a little confused. Anxiety doesn't really do that. Anxiety just... I think the worst it'd really do is, like, pure anxiety is, like, make you agoraphobic, which back in the day that almost was the case until I finally started doing something about it, like years back. So that's always good. But yeah,
imagine
no.
that world. Like, it would actually basically be the same, but you would probably like Doom even less than I do.
Why?
Agoraphobic?
No, agoraphobic. Agoraphobia is the fear of going like outside.
Ah, that's completely different.
Yeah. I know it has the word gore in
and
it.
then gore.
Yeah, I know it has the word gore in it, so you'd expect. No, there's probably like a different word for that. I mean, probably. And by probably, I mean there is. I just don't know what it is. Yeah, no, that's like the worst you can get with anxiety. Like, you can get so scared. Like, your anxiety can be so severe that leaving the house is almost impossible, which that's like one of the most common things with anxiety, I think. Well, that and depressive thoughts, but granted, I am still technically diagnosed with depression, but I'll always say that I just don't feel it or don't see it, so I'm just going. So I always say I'm not actually. Well, I tell people I am, like I'm technically am, but I don't really consider myself.
But it's.
I don't consider myself it because I'm not depressed. As far as I'm aware, I'm not depressed. Because my sister, man, you know what? This is gonna be the disorder and
oh, fun.
The disorder and the mental disorder and stuff. The part, whatever.
We're gonna get all of our information completely correct and not offend anyone at all.
But my sister's had depression many times before, and she like people, and so I've had a friend who's also had depression, and when you have depression, you it's harder. Like you'll try to you'll wake up some days and you'll just like not want to get out of bed because you're just like depressed and feel bad and stuff like that. But that's not. I've never been like that. I've never had that like in mind, or like self-harm or something like that. Like none of that's ever crossed my mind. Like yeah, I've had bad days, but everybody has. So I wouldn't say I'm depressed. I think it's just if I'm not mistaken, it's a matter of depression and anxiety go hand in hand because they kind of feed off of each other. So when you're diagnosed with anxiety, generally speaking, you also get diagnosed with depression, especially if you have like a severe anxiety like me. It's kind of like, I think, like a fail-safe in a way, you know? They're like, you're also depressed, even though you might not actually be. It's just, we're saying this because there's a high probability that this will be the case as they feed off of each other, sort of thing. But yeah, no, as far as I'm aware, I don't feel depressed. So. I tell people I'm technically depressed, but I say
depressed with an asterisk.
Yeah, I say I'm technically depressed, or I'm technically diagnosed with depression, but I don't consider myself depressed. Is what I usually tell people, because I don't. Maybe in the past it was more like within the past like year or so. Definitely not. I don't really care. I don't care. You can just have me die.
See, guys, he's not depressed at all.
Nah, I'm pretty depressed. I have to play this game.
Oh, okay, yeah. Fair enough. But why did we agree to this again? This was the same day as Bash and Xenoblade and all those that we agreed on, right? How high were we?
Did we say we don't have mental retardation? We need to rethink some things.
I think I need to rethink my life choices.
Given the fact that you played through Bubsy 3D, Aquaman, yeah, probably.
I mean, to be fair, I haven't done anything like that in a while.
Yeah,
I wonder why.
He gave up on Superman.
Gave up. I did one video.
Still disappointed.
But that was the game that broke me.
Disappointed. I'm gonna comment on all of your new videos asking for Superman to come back. And to finish Bubsy properly. I still love how I have one of your pinned comments, I think, on your, what's it called? On your very last Bubsy video. So I was like, thank you for playing this amazing game. You know, as a joke, remember, I was like, thanks for playing this amazing game, but you didn't beat the game fully. Can you please come back to it and beat it? Thanks. And then he pinned a comment because we were in a call.
I mean, first off, he's right.
Yeah.
I didn't. And you know, funny thing is, I found this out years later, like how to do it. It is some of the most obscure nonsense ever in a video game.
That's what you told me.
Like, it's basically they have a baked-in running backward through the entire level no-hit challenge in Bubsy 3D, no less. It's just...
Where's Bubsy 4D?
I mean, wouldn't that just be that first 2D game they made?
I mean, I guess. Speaking of which, when are you
modern
playing
2D one.
that?
I'm not buying it, therefore I'm not Let's Playing it.
Did I ever tell you that the Bubsy official Discord server, which, yeah, apparently there's a fan Discord server, if you haven't seen our...
the Sonic and Sega part.
Sonic and Sega part, yeah. There's an official Bubsy Discord server. Apparently, I don't think I joined the server at this point. I don't think so. Because I joined out of sheer curiosity. And it was rated at some point, surprise, surprise. And I guess I don't know what they the people that rated posted, but apparently they posted stuff, some pretty gnarly stuff. I'm not remotely surprised, mind you. Apparently they
well, what were you expecting?
And that makes me really afraid to even be associated with the server, because if nobody knows, Discord has a really bad thing of having a no option to clear the cache, which is stupid. But yeah, no, they got like raided at some point, and for all I know, they could have posted some illegal stuff in there, and since it's in my cache and I have to work really hard to delete it because there's not just a function in Discord itself, because for some reason Discord doesn't have the option. Sorry, I'm really upset about that still.
Yeah, I'm still embarrassed about the fact that the administrator for that server is someone we know, or at least used to know.
You have no association with them anymore.
It's been a few years, yeah.
I mean, even
kind of embarrassing.
Even if you did have association with them, you wouldn't have association with them at that point. I don't think in your own goodwill and conscience you could like accept that.
No, not really.
I want to leave the server, but I don't at the same time because I want to keep the emotes. Because I like having emotes. I just like having an amalgamation of emotes to post.
And how many of them are Bubsy themed?
Like 95%.
Exactly.
Unsurprisingly. Did I ever tell you that he also that one of the owners, you know, the guy, I'm just not gonna say his name because you've said it before.
Thick Kid, aka Vindictive.
Okay, so I'll just say it. He says 3D is his favorite. I think it was him who said 3D is his favorite in the series.
And everyone's welcome to an opinion, but that is not an opinion. That is an objective falsehood.
I mean, as bad as the first game was when I had to experience it.
It was at least a game.
Yeah, it was at least a game. What does 3D have to tell me of anything? It's not even a game. It looks like a fucking college project that's unfinished.
Seriously, it's like first semester college.
You could say, yeah, but it was like 96. And I say, well, Crash Bandicoot came out. What's their excuse?
To be fair, the game was clearly in development way before Crash Bandicoot or Mario 64 were ever unveiled.
Yeah, but Crash Bandicoot showed... Maybe not Mario 64. The Crash Bandicoot, yeah. But... on the bright, not on the bright side, but on the flip side of things, Crash Bandicoot is an amazing game, like in terms of visual quality for that time. So there's no excuse to why the game looks the way it does. No excuse. I don't even know if you can consider Bubsy 3D's textures as like actual textures. They all look like just placeholders.
Pretty sure they are placeholders.
I wouldn't doubt it. I mean, wasn't that game like confirmed to be Rush to Hell or something?
Well, yeah, what do you think happened after that E3 when they found out about Crash Bandicoot and Super Mario 64? They were desperate to get out the door before anything else could show them up.
I mean, that game was gonna be dead on arrival anyways. Let's just throw that out there. But
maybe like another year was not gonna save that game.
It's like they got a PS1 dev kit and we're just like, what does this button do?
I mean, to be fair, that's what most PS1 devs were doing at the time.
Yeah,
what does this button do? What does this button do? What does this button do?
What does this button do?
Wait, I deleted the whole game. It comes out 2 months. No!
They call me Emperor Palpatine. He's coming back from Star Wars 2018, even though it's 2019. 2041.
I was at the comments on you dating the video, but then I remembered at the beginning we were talking about pre-ordering Nitro Fuel. Kind of already did date it, so you know what? You're off the hook.
Also, I was trying to undate it by giving pointless dates and numbers. Alright, well, I'm ending the video here. Goodbye.
Yeah, you wish.
I'm joking. Ah, shit! I might have just unplugged my headphones. I might have... hello? We'll be back in a second. Okay, we're back. Audio is saved.
Good.
Yeah, sorry guys, I might have, you know...
ruined everything.
Might have did an oopsie. Oopsie, noopsie.
But that oopsie also means that I don't have to edit, so you know what? I'm okay with it.
I'm not okay with it. That means I have to do work and effort. The two things that I am terrible at.
How has this channel lasted so long?
Because it's only like 50% true.
I mean, I would say it's like 50% true now.
Yeah. Before it was like...
It was like 90%
true. But...
And even now, honestly, there's a decent amount of truth to that. Let's see. Who gets the thumbnails for most, if not all, these videos? Me. Who's editing most, if not all, these videos? Me.
I can't edit. Well, I can, but the YouTube editor pisses me. I don't have the patience for it. So
you see what his excuse is?
No, I mean I don't. I did it before. I was like, I think I was the first person to do it because you told me about it, and then I did it, and I was like, this is unbearable for me to work with.
Yeah.
So then you started to do it. Because I remember when we first talked about it and had to start doing it. I do remember me explicitly trying it and was like, wow, this is terrible. I think what ended up happening was, I could be wrong, but I think what happened was I was like, wow, this is terrible. Is this also terrible for you or something? So I might have explained it in like a way that sounded worse.
I vaguely remember this.
When you were dealing with it, and then you tried it, and you were like, it's bad, but not as bad as you say it is, or something like that. And then I was like, well, can you do it then? Because I can't stand it. I think that's the gist.
Okay, but that all implies one thing, and that's that you can't just edit on your computer.
Oh, I can. It's just more convenient to upload raw. At least it is for me. Because, well, a lot of it also has to do with my computer isn't really good enough for me to like render and then do something else on my computer itself. like, say, play another game or something.
Cry me a river. Sonic Sega All-Stars Racing says hi. 4K 60 FPS.
I know, but a lot of my friends and stuff, they like to ask me to do a lot of stuff and or like computer specific. Like if I was more of like a strict console gamer, I think I would care much less and I would just edit them all because it's not really that hard to edit these videos and render them. It's just a matter of usually I want to record or usually I want to play like a game or something and I can't play a game. Maybe if it at some point, though I highly doubt this will be the case, maybe at some point when I get a good enough computer I can do both at the same time, but I know rendering a video and playing a game, even on like a top quality computer, can still be questionable. Because like when you render a video, it like takes up all your resources.
Apparently, Rage 2 is the most highly selling game in Japan this week.
That's odd.
Interesting. Yeah.
It's a little weird.
It's okay. No, it's not. I was gonna say it's the only Western game on there too, but no, of course it's not. Of course it's Minecraft.
Top selling game of all time.
That's price is still selling though.
Come on. In Japan, that makes me wonder if it can't be Japanese kids. That has to be like adults at that point, right?
By now you think so.
Because I don't think kids in Japan, a lot of kids in Japan really play games. Could be wrong on that. I can't confirm nor deny that. It's just an assumption.
You didn't stay in Japan long enough to really understand the culture at that point.
Or more like I don't live in Japan.
Exactly.
And I don't research it on a day-to-day basis.
Although, if you looked at that top 10 sales list, you would probably have second thoughts about that.
Why?
Because it's overwhelmingly Nintendo.
Oh, that's not surprising at all.
Like, second place is Smash Bros. Ultimate, fourth place is Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, the sixth place is Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee, 7 is Splatoon 2, 8 is Super Mario Bros. 2 Deluxe, 9 is Zelda Breath of the Wild.
Oh, that's still selling like crazy nowadays.
Over there it is.
Then
not
again,
even on the top shelf anymore here in the States.
Then again, their sales over there is like 20,000. There's a lot of units for them over there. I love Neo Shadows. I love video games.
My eye's not twitching, your eye's twitching.
Your butt is twitching! How low can I go?
I don't feel like there's that much further to go.
How low can I go? Mingling Worlds! What will it give me? Stagnant space. More like
Okay.
stagnant. Your mom. One of these
I thought for sure you was gonna say your face, but okay.
Damn it, I should've! We're like... Your mom's fat. Oh god, that reminds me of back in middle school when everybody was saying your mama's so fat jokes. Yo, mama's so fat. Dad.
Oh, well, okay. It's not gonna matter for us in this part because there's no way you're reaching level 99. But apparently, at this very moment, there's a bunch of people reporting that they can't connect online, including for trophies. So,
Thank God this part has nothing of importance and value happening in it.
There's no way you're gonna reach level 99 here, so whatever.
In the arms of an angel,
swap to like 4 songs at once.
Hey, oh! I'm singing the Survivor theme.
Oh, that was not one of them I was noticing, but okay.
I'm actually not singing the Survivor theme, but it just made me think of the Survivor theme. Oh, I am so bored.
Welcome to Riku. What did you expect?
I would rather castrate myself in a live stream than do this.
Oh no!
Live on Twitch at that. What do you think would happen if we named a stream on Twitch Live Castration?
You'd probably have police officers outside your house within an hour. Assuming anybody actually paid enough attention to this raid to notice the title.
Well, I mean, like, what if it wasn't, like, me actually doing that, but it's just the title is that?
The title, you'd probably be fine. Probably. I don't really know what the rules on titles are. Like, how far can you go with titles?
I feel like Twitch would probably at least, like, message you or something. Or, I feel like either that or they would just issue, like, a week-long ban or something and then be like, hey, don't do that. I mean, you could probably, I'm pretty sure you could, like, call your stream on Twitch, like, fuck, piss, shit, tits. You'd probably be fine. I don't know, though. I never have had a Twitch stream title like that. My Twitch titles are always really straightforward, like, playing this game 100%, or it'll be like some sort of pun or something.
Usually whenever I would do it, it would be some sort of reference to pain and then mentioning what I was doing. Because last time I was going through it was Kingdom Hearts 2 Level 1.
It's not pain.
Yes, it is.
Don't you just hate it when you hiccup and then burp at the same time?
I can't say it's ever happened to me.
Your Majesty!
It confuses me. It confuses me deeply. My room is getting hot. Eat fire! I mean, is it really fire, though?
It's basically fire!
Is it truly fire?
I mean, he says it's fire, therefore it's fire!
This is awkward. I actually need to be right back now. Hi, sorry guys, my dad called and I kind of immediately jumped on a whim to answer that, because in the past he used to call me all the time to tell me something unfortunate about my grandpa, so it just became kind of an instinctual thing for me at that point.
Understandable.
But, you know, he was like, nah, you know, how you doing? You doing good? And I was like, oh.
Okay, I mean, glad you called, but
I have to talk to him again on Sunday, this Sunday. I know it's already passed for you guys, but Father's Day is coming. This video's already dated, so I don't fucking care.
yeah, we've already missed our mark.
We broke that part already. But yeah, so I get to call him again or he'll call me probably first. I don't know, actually. I was really good on Mother's Day, but we'll see. Sometimes I remember things too much that I end up forgetting when the time actually comes. I don't know if you're the same.
I'm horrible at that. Like, I'm really good at preparing in advance, but once the day actually comes...
You're like, the video game! And then I was really bad this year. I think it was this year. I forgot my sister's birthday. So I had to call her. But it's funny because before I forgot, I remembered. I was like, all right, her birthday's this day of the year. She's one of the only people that I remember their birthday. Well, I remember my sister, my mom, and my dad's birthday because all their birthdays are pretty easy for me to remember. Like, you want to know how I remember my sister's birthday?
I remember it.
directly a week after Thanksgiving, Valentine's Day. So it's always the
Is this like
21st.
it's just like after Thanksgiving's always a different day.
Yeah, no, that would be confusing. No, her birthday.
Tell me about it.
Her birthday is
Says someone that has their birthday on Thanksgiving on a regular basis.
you.
Yes.
Happy birthday! It's Thanksgiving today. But yeah, no, her birthday is that, so it's easy for me to remember. Just have to remember, okay, a week after, almost at Thanksgiving again, after Valentine's Day, fine.
Maybe you just want every day to be Thanksgiving so you can eat more.
This year, I just completely forgot about Valentine's Day, which is funny, because usually I remember, because there's a friend of mine, and I'm just like, hey man, you know, it's Single Awareness Day. Want to be my Valentine's just so we can be like, this year we had a Valentine's, but I completely forgot this year. So I messaged them again, like 4 days later or something. I was like, I know it's late, but let's just pretend we were each other's Valentines again this year. And they're like, yeah, sure. It's just a little stupid thing between me and my friends and one of us.
Whatever, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, no, I forgot. And then my sister, or not my sister, my mom called or texted me, I think, like the day after. And was like, did you call your sister? Did you call your sister yesterday or whatever? And I was like, what? Why? Yeah. She was like, because it was her birthday. And I was like, oh no!
Not again.
Yeah, well, to be fair though, also, I think that week, I was having like really bad anxiety attacks, like the entire week or something. So I was so focused on that I just completely like blanked. I think that's also why I forgot like Valentine's in its entirety. Not only that, but like I don't really care about Valentine's in actuality.
Yeah, it's just one of those holidays that, let's just say, specific, very specific, and not necessarily in the ways you think.
I wish we in America had a like Japanese Valentine's Day and White Day. I wish we had something really similar. Because in Japan, those aren't considered like lovers' holidays. So for Valentine's Day, the guys, no, I think it's the girls give guys like chocolate and stuff like that, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the girls that give like they'll give like say their coworkers and stuff like a chocolate and stuff like that, right? Like sweets and all that sort of stuff. And that's Valentine's Day for them. And the reason why girls do it is because there's an inverse holiday in March a month later called White Day. And in White Day, it's vice versa. The guys give the girls chocolate and sweets and stuff like that. But the thing is, like, the girls that gave the guys, like, candy and, like, chocolate and stuff like that, generally speaking, you're supposed to give back to those girls that give to you. So it's kind of just like a big social event sort of thing in a sense. Like their version of Valentine's Day, I don't remember what the name of the actual holiday is for them, but it's like in July. So, but like Valentine's Day is like I think the normal day for like the vast majority, February 14th, and then I think White Day is like March 20th or something like that. I kind of wish that we celebrated it in that way because it's supposed to be more of like a friendly holiday than it is supposed to be like a lover's
You're a whole
holiday.
lot less than singles awareness crap, at least.
Yeah, like it technically people still use it as as a lover's holiday, but it's not like a actual day dedicated to lovers sort of thing. As opposed to our Valentine's Day, which is a holiday dedicated towards lovers. I think, at least it is. That's how I always interpret it.
I've never seen a case where it isn't, except for people doing it ironically, like with you and your friend.
Yeah. I mean, dude, that friend is a girl, but that doesn't really mean anything.
I mean, even if the friend was a guy, I wouldn't.
Yeah, I was about to say, if she said no, like, say, for example, she had,
like an actual person to celebrate Valentine's with, I would literally just go to my best friend and be like, yo, bromance day? And you'd be like, hell yeah, up top, buddy. I'd probably say the same thing to you, too. I'd probably be like, yo, dude, I don't got
What the
Valentine's this year. You wanna be my V?
You think I would make some corny skit video out of that?
You wanna be my V, bro? But
Why are you saying that like goofy?
you wanna be my V, bro? Because that's what we've turned into at this point.
We're not Yoga Doctor, we're Goofy Doctor.
Goofy Doctor. I like how half of your old username stays there and my username just ceases to exist at that. I guess I'm the Goofy then.
Which, I mean, of course you are.
I'm the
It's
comic
like, usually when we're coming up with those fun names, it's my name that gets cut off, so you know what?
Fair enough, fair enough. To be fair, is it even, would you even consider it your name anymore if it's not?
Not really, because I haven't used the My Doctor name in ages.
To be fair,
You could just say the doctor part, the eye doctor part rather. Even though it works better for Man Eye Doctor, you can just say it also conversely works for Mayonnaise Doctor as a whole. Like, it doesn't work as well, but you could make the argument, and I don't think anybody would really bat an eye. I've been thinking about changing my name forever, though. And by forever, I mean like the past, like, 6-ish months or so, I want to say.
You said you was going to do that a month ago, and you said it was going to be in a month, so...
Well, I didn't say... Well, I wasn't certain on it yet.
like, I wasn't 100% sure if I wanted to. I was really banking on it, but I wasn't certain, especially because I couldn't figure out a true proper name. I almost wanted to do, what was it, like Yogi? Like Yogi something?
Yogi, the same as Deliveryman! I'm telling you!
Or like Yogi, the accidental video game destroyer, or you know, something like that. But I think the reason why I didn't do that
is because I didn't want to paint my channel to be something specific that it wasn't. Like, if somebody saw Yogi, the accidental game destroyer, I feel like they would immediately think, oh, this guy probably breaks games and does videos on that. Which, I mean, I'm not opposed to doing that. I mean,
Maybe you should.
I mean, I'm kind of really good at doing it on accident. But yeah, no, and then of course I have a few other aliases that I knock around with that I don't necessarily want to have as my name. Like, for example, I have Sui, which I don't want to use because, first of all, a little too
No one
simple.
knows how to pronounce it.
nobody knows how to pronounce it
Except
apparently.
from his mini doctor has.
I mean, nobody knows how to pronounce Yogi apparently.
I thought that name was straightforward, but apparently not.
I mean, it took me a few years, and I'm still not 100% convinced I know.
I mean, I won't fault anyone for it because it's common. It's not like you're the only person. But it's just like I thought it was always straightforward. Maybe because in my head when I made it when I was like 10, I was like,
This
Yoga?
makes sense.
Moan, yo. Like, I thought it made sense. I think I've mentioned this story, I'm pretty sure, like 100 times over, but I love the origin story. I was joining a website, I wanted to be Yoga Man for no reason particularly, but it was taken. And then I wanted to be Yoga Man, yo. But it didn't, I think it was a misspell at that point. I wanted to do Yoga Man, yo, but I ended up putting an O on accident. I think.
Oh well.
Either that happens, or I tried Yoga Manyo and it didn't work, and I decided to put an O for M or for moan. Even though it was like 10 and I didn't know moans are generally like sexual at that point, I just knew the word existed. And then yeah, I don't know if I told you or anyone this, but I think I have actually. But I'm gonna say it again. I'm not 100% sure if I said it on video. Because I know, as opposed to me giving my origin story of my username, which I've said a lot. I don't know if I ever told people this, but I remember when I was younger and those websites that did have Yoga Manyo on, or Yoga Monyo on as my name, right? I would do. People would greet me by saying, "Hi, yo." I don't know if you know
I
this.
vaguely remember this. Yes.
Okay, so people would say hi yo, right? And that was their way of shortening my name. They just shortened it to yo, and I found that to be very bizarre because when I was a kid, I thought they were
Yoga
just
was the one I would have gone with.
yeah, that's what I figured. So, but people said hi yo, So what I figured they meant is like they were saying hi twice as a kind of like a fun little gesture. So they would say hi yo, I would say hi yo back. Because I thought that's what they were going for. Like they were like, it was like a fun little gesture sort of thing. But no, they were saying like, I learned this over the years. Nobody clarified it for me. I learned over the years that they meant hi yo as in like, hi Yogamonia, what's up, sort of thing. I learned that over the years, and then I sometimes I just contemplate and think about it. And I'm just like, man, that was a dumb kid. I mean, I was like 10. Can I give myself that much shit?
Not really.
Yeah, it's not like I was like 15 or something. If I was 15, I think there would be a serious issue at hand if I didn't realize what was going on. But I was like, so I'm 22 now, and this was like 2005. So this was like 14 years ago. So yeah, I was like literally like 8, 9. So yeah, but I don't know. It was just what's it called? It was just one of those silly little oddities when I was I actually had I remembered a lot of fucking little stories. You know, since we have nothing else to talk about, and I'm just remembering this now.
We never have anything to talk about.
Yeah, and since I might as well mention this now, I might as well talk about some of my old little stories I have from like back in school. And just so everyone knows, because I have, again, like I mentioned at the beginning of this part, I have severe anxiety. I was homeschooled for high school, so I never went to high school proper, because that's when it got like really, really bad. But I went to middle school and before. Didn't have to go to like a special ed class or anything. I don't think we, at that time I still don't think we knew. I think we learned the summer of or right at the beginning of high school because we were confused on why it was so difficult for me to go to school. It wasn't just because it wasn't simply because I didn't want to go. There was like, it was like a struggle for me to like actually go sort of thing because I had high anxiety and we just didn't know. But anyways, so I was talking about a few friends because of the new Pokemon that's coming out in later this year, Pokemon Sword and Shield. I should have just said Pokemon Sword and Shield. But whatever, these parts aren't dated, it really doesn't matter.
Who cares?
So, we were talking about Pokemon, right? We were talking about how in Generation 3, which was like on the Game Boy, that was like Emerald, Ruby, Sapphire, those games, right? We were talking, we were just exchanging stories, and back in the day, me and my friend, we played a lot of Emerald, and we had like this black market, give or take, of like Pokemon. Like we were the Pokemon masters, you know, and people would always want Pokemon from us. And we just had this like underground like black market of Pokemon as kids. And it was great because they wouldn't want you to bring like your. They mostly didn't want you to bring like your Game Boys and stuff like that because they didn't want you to lose them or have them stolen. Like that was the main reason. It wasn't because they were like flat out banned. It was just because they didn't want people like lose them because they were little kids.
People lose things all the time. Like look at all the lost phones nowadays. You know?
I mean I lost.
We're adults and we still lose our phones.
I lost my Pokemon Emerald cartridge on a field trip in not middle school, in elementary school because of that. Like I literally did. I think it fell out of my pocket on the bus, and at that point somebody probably either found it or it just kind of got lost in the ether. But somebody probably found it. They probably got all my good black market Pokemon. But yeah, no. So I had like a black. Like, me and my friend had, like, a black market of Pokemon. It was, like, the greatest thing ever. And that transitioned into the next generation on the DS, except shiny Pokemon were much easier to get. So we'd get shiny Pokemon, and we would chain legitimate shiny Pokemon. But after a while, we were, like, we weren't having any of that anymore. So what we did was, we both spent money, like, half and half money on an action replay. We cheated. And we would cheat for shiny Pokemon, and we would sell them, quote-unquote sell them. We didn't actually do this for, like, money.
So you created a black market.
Yeah, we created another black market of shiny Pokemon for people that really wanted shiny Pokemon. They had to come to us. And it was really funny. And we just kept hacking them in, and we stopped after a while. I think we just lost interest. It wasn't a matter of... like somebody lost something or this or that. We also didn't go to the same school too, which was great too. So it's not like we were like
working together in some like crazy black market in the same school. Like in his school, he had his own little like circle of black market. In my school,
Even better.
I had like my own little circle of like a black market Pokemon. It was so good. And you know what? We mentioned this in I think either the last Riku part, the Riku part before, Yu-Gi-Oh. I used to go to a boys and girls club after school. And they banned Yu-Gi-Oh cards after a while because people kept stealing them. I think I'm actually really guilty. I think as a kid I actually stole some from some people. Not a lot, but I think I stole some. I could be wrong. I don't really remember. I'm just saying I did because I feel like there's a higher probability I did as opposed to I didn't. But I have this like, I literally ran like a Yu-Gi-Oh black market too. I had fake cards for crying out loud.
You know, it's amazing you're not a criminal nowadays.
Well, I mean, we were just kids. I think this is a common thing for kids to do.
Yeah, because kids usually run a black market.
Well, it was even funnier because they banned Yu-Gi-Oh cards after a while, right? Because people kept stealing them and stuff. But we still all literally brought them in secret. There was like this back room we would go and play in that like the admins and stuff, or the administrators of the facility would like never go to. And we just played it in there. We knew we had like a bodyguard essentially watching for us, and whenever somebody was coming by, we would just like put it all away real quick and stop playing and trading our cards and stuff like that. It was great. It was like a black market. And when I say people like stole cards, what I mean is they wouldn't just like steal it from them just like head on. So people would leave their backpack in lockers. I think that the lockers there didn't have locks for some reason or another. Maybe so kids wouldn't forget or something. So we would just open up their lockers and we would know where their cards are and we would just steal them. Actually, I don't think I stole them directly, but I think I was kind of like a bystander to a lot of like people stealing. Like people would ask me, "Hey, you want to steal these cards or whatever?" And I'd be like, "No, but you can." And I would be like basically next to them stealing cards from them or with them, but I wouldn't be the one who would like go into their personal belongings and steal their cards and stuff like that.
It makes it so much better.
It's not any better. I'm just saying I wasn't the person that directly like enticed people and were like, "Yo, dude, let's just go in and steal their card." Like I wasn't that from what I remember. But we did. I do also remember this. This has nothing to do with stealing in black markets and cards anymore. But in terms of stealing, I remember in middle school, I think it was my 8th grade, I made this really big mistake on accident. Which, I mean, this is a simple mistake I feel like a lot of people could really fall for if they're really not paying attention, like me, who like was going between classes and stuff like that. One time, I forgot to completely lock... I think I completely forgot... Like, I forgot to completely lock my lock in middle school for my locker. And I remember it was like the next period... I think it was either the next period or I had to go to the... I had to grab something from my backpack for the class or something. I think it was one of those, because I think the hall was empty at this time. I went into my locker... and I realized that the lock wasn't completely closed, and I lost my phone that day. And normally that would be like kind of just a boring story, just like by itself, right? So, whatever, somebody steals your phone, right? It got even better. So I told my parents I lost my phone and I wasn't sure what was going on, and they would call my phone, they would text my phone and all this stuff, because they figured that maybe it was just in a pocket or like buried under something, right? Because that's like your first response. Like you don't always immediately think it's stolen. Because I didn't bring it to me in class. Like I had it in my, what's it called? My backpack. Because I would always call like my parents after school and be like, "Hey, I'm walking over to my friend's house." Because in middle school, I walked over to a friend's house.
I'll let you finish your story. Just go ahead.
I was gonna say, my sister, mom, and dad all harassed whoever had my phone and was like, "You know what? We're gonna steal, like, or not steal, like, you know what? We're gonna like call the cops and stuff on you. You're getting like serious trouble." Like that was like my sister. She was like going on like that because my parents could look at my text history and look at like who these texts were and what these texts were. So that's how we knew it was stolen at that point, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they were legitimately like calling and threatening this poor kid for stealing my phone, and it was just the funniest thing ever to me. Like, they would straight up were like, my sister was going ham. She legitimately was like, we're gonna call the cops, and you know what, buddy? That phone's gonna be fucking deactivated within a day, so you know what? You didn't, what you stole wasn't even worth anything. And I was just like, holy shit. And that was a really funny time in my, that was probably one of the few interesting, no, actually I have a few other interesting things that happened. But what were you going to say? Because you were going to say something.
Oh yeah, I was talking about so remember yesterday when I was telling you over Skype about a game that was on discount for basically nothing, despite usually being full price, the NBA game. Apparently that wasn't a glitch, I thought it was.
I thought you said it was a glitch because other games
feels like
were, was that?
Yeah, but no, it's actually intentional, and it still feels like a ripoff.
Is it a giant like sale going on?
19.
Well, I know, but didn't you say Crypto the Necrodancer was also $3?
Yeah.
Was that a mishap, or is it like a deal going on?
Apparently, it was a deal.
Oh,
Which I don't.
If that's still open, if that's still there,
it was literally $0 for me because I had so many gold points built up.
guys, if you haven't gotten Crypt of the Necro Dancer, go get it.
Assuming it's still going on,
Yeah,
it goes up.
Honestly, even if it's not on sale, by the time this video's up, still get it. It's a really good game.
Even if it's not on sale, just give it a couple months on Steam.
Actually, probably give it. The summer sale might be either going on as we speak right now, or it almost would be going on. I have no idea when it is. I feel like it's still later this month. I know it hasn't started yet because my friends would have been talking about it.
Didn't they? Isn't it usually July?
It's either July or late June. I can't remember. It was probably more July because I think in May they have like their.
Isn't May the spring sale, which is so late?
I know. Well, not really. I mean, kind of. The end of spring is the 21st of this month. Or, yeah, that's the last one.
I know technically, but everyone still thinks of this as being summer.
Well, it's because we're used to school. We get out at late May.
You get out late May.
In my school we did. So I get.
He got out like May 6th.
Oh, yeah. Me, we got out like early June, late.
Too
May.
hot.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. But yeah, no, it's I guess one more story I could probably tell because this fight's been going on, I think,
It's about an
around
hour.
50 minutes. Oh yeah, almost an hour at this point. So I'll probably just clear it
If we had
out.
20 minutes before, then 11 minutes, then we have this 30.
Yep. So yeah. Oh yeah. No, this is a 10-second or 10-minute delay because I have to step away again. Sorry about that.
Oh yeah, that's right. Okay, forgot about that.
Yeah, so I'll probably go on another 10 minutes. It should be good. That means like 2 more rooms, give or take. But I guess another thing I could talk about in terms of high school story. I don't know if I've ever mentioned this before. I'm not 100% certain. And I can't confirm this, obviously, because I really don't know if this was the case. In my time in middle school, so the 2 years that I had in middle school, I was actually considered one of the taller kids there. And what happened was there was a point where I was one of the tallest kids in school because, you know, they would have like assemblies or like the yearbook thing, and they would always make the people who were like tallest go in like certain, you know, they'd make them go like in the back and stuff like that for certain pictures, and you know, all that sort of stuff, right?
I was not the tall person, so I don't know.
Well, then you were probably always put at the front because that's what they would do. So what happened was, I guess maybe it was because I was one of the taller kids in school, and I was, did I just unplug my headphones again? No, I didn't, thank God. I like smacked the wire and I got scared. Anyways, so I was like when I was young, or like in middle school, I was kind of, that's when my introverted life started for the most part, mostly because that's when my anxiety was starting to crop up, like, it wasn't at its severe level yet, but it was it was definitely starting to appear and crop up, right?
So I was more introverted and I was more quiet myself, sort of thing. I had friends that I always hung out with, like every single recess and lunch. Like I always hung out with the exact same people. So it's not like I was completely by myself or anything. I never was by myself. I always had a group of friends, or like a specific group of friends that I would hang out with. And what would happen was, I think people, I want to say they were a little intimidated by me because I was a tall guy for most people in the school. I wasn't like buff per se because I wasn't buff at all actually, really, because I didn't go to like a gym and shit like that, right? But you know how when people are tall and they're like a little chubby, or at least they're chubby and they got a bit to weight to them and stuff like that, that can be kind of intimidating just because they definitely look at like they're overpowering you at that point. Like when you're looking at like a 6 foot, you're like 6 foot something, right?
I have not measured myself in years, so I have no idea.
Oh, well, okay, let's
Last time I measured myself was I was 5'10", and I know I'm taller than that now.
So let's just say 6'10", or 6'10", 6'5".
Yeah.
Yeah, I was about to say 6'10" is not realistic. So let's say you're...
If I was 6'10", I would go with this, and I would just go join basketball league.
Oh, no, I meant to say let's pretend, like, let's say you're 6'1", right? And let's say there's like a 6'5" guy or something. Or 6'6", you know, in terms of height, right? And you know how when they're not, like, necessarily, like, buff, but they have maybe, like, a bit of weight on them, maybe they're a little chubby, or maybe they're kind of fat to an extent. You know how when they have a build like that, there's, like, a certain build, and that can make them kind of, like, uncomforting and...
Terrifying, yes.
Yeah, a little terrifying to approach. You know, that's why bodyguards are like that. If they're not buff as hell, they're like that. They have those kind of builds. I was kind of like a kid with that kind of build. And nobody really liked to mess with me. I was technically not in the popular kids group, though I knew a whole bunch of people in it. I wasn't technically...
I think most people in high school at least knew a lot of people in the popular group, because those people just like talking to people. Yeah,
that's true. But people, well, they considered me a kind of loser, but that was also because one of my best friend, or my ex-best friend at the time, obviously we're mature now, so we're friends at this point. But, at the time, he was, like, my ex-best friend, because he got to the popular group and he, like, treated me like shit, so I didn't want to be friends with him. Because, you know, that's what happens in school at those times. At that time in school. Your friends would join a popular group and suddenly nobody cares about you anymore, right? And he would try to, like, be like, oh, no, you're not popular, I can't really talk to you, whatever. In 8th grade, that kind of changed a little bit, especially because I kind of had a name on me for the wrong reasons, I think. And basically, long story short, eventually, because I was so introverted and stuff like that, people didn't really talk to me or mess with me, there was always some kids that would try to bully me, and those were the kids that always thought they were the tough guys, right? Like, they thought they were like hot shit, and they were trying to be the bully. Like, they were the, like, atypical bullies, right? But they didn't bully me like how most people are used to bullying, like where they get pushed around and stuff like that, right? Bothered all the time, right? Like, if this guy would ever try to bully me, I would just shrug him off and not care, or whatever, and I would just ignore him, right? And this guy was actually kind of like, I think actually started going to the gym because he had muscle and stuff on it, right? Like, he wasn't just like a kid who was literally trying to be like a bully because he thought he was a cool, like, complete hot shit. He did it also because he had, like, muscle and stuff, right? And he tried to bully me, and it just never worked. And one of these days, or never got under my skin at least. I didn't give a shit. And one of these days, it was like before first period, so I was waiting outside like my English class in 8th grade, you know. And I was just like chilling. And then this guy was trying to get up in my face, trying to be a big old bully, right? And we got into a fight, and I kicked his ass.
Oh, that's embarrassing.
Yeah. I did
No,
dirt.
what's more embarrassing than picking a fight is losing the fight that you picked.
Oh, dude, I did dirty moves. Like, I would hold on to his hair. Like, I would pull back on his hair and, like, would grab one of his arms and hold it behind his back. Like, I did dirty stuff. And he lost the fight, and I got suspended for that, but he got suspended longer because he initiated the fight. I think this will be probably my last round, by the way. But he initiated the fight, right? So I got in less trouble. Of course, I obviously got in trouble. I was still suspended for like 3 days or something. But this guy got suspended for like a week or so, because he was just being a fucking asshat to me. And bullied me, and I was doing nothing wrong. I was just waiting for me to get inside my gosh dang English class in first period, which I hated that class, funny enough, anyways. But yeah, I kicked.
Not
his...
a lot of kids that ever really liked English.
No, I hated English. Well, the reason why I hated English was because, especially when in middle school to about high school, honestly, mostly high school as opposed to middle school, at that point you start learning barely anything new, and it's just kind of like...
Exactly.
It's just a repeat of stuff you already know, and that really frustrated the heck out of me.
So at that point, they're just asking us to read more books, and that's it.
Yeah, pretty much. So that's how I always did that. And I aced every test, but I hated doing homework. So my grades were only good because I did really good on tests, and my homework were like, it was like 80% of the time half-assed. And the same thing happened in high school too, even though I was homeschooled. Like, I almost never did my freaking projects and stuff, because I was like, I don't want to do this shit. And then I'd go do a test, and I'd get like a 98% on it, missing like a 1 question. And my teachers will always be like, but how? And I'm like, because, I don't know, shit's fucking easy, guys. Make your stuff harder, and maybe I'll fail. But,
seriously, then... Funny thing, too, is, like, back in high school, I just thought that's as hard as they got, and that's why we would keep going at it. But when I started college, it's like, no, it actually does get harder. Then why did we waste all of our time in high school?
Yeah, there's a lot of classes in high school which end up being stupid in the long run, and not really worth your time, in my opinion.
Oh no, you're right. There's plenty of things we should be learning. Like, I don't know, maybe how to do our taxes, how to buy a home, things that everyone's gonna need to know at some point.
But no. We're busy. They're busy trying to tell us what the like this specific part, like what you would call this part in an English book that you would never use unless you were a writer. And even if you were a writer, I highly doubt that you would pick up that they're using this specific technique in writing. No, instead you learn shit like that.
I mean, to be fair, that kind of wording applies to a lot of classes. Although a lot of classes, that's accurate. Like, if you're not going to science or engineering, do you really need math?
Well, math, basic math, yes.
Well, yeah, basic math, sure, but like anything.
But you're gonna learn
say,
that
fractions.
Yeah, I was about to say you're gonna learn the majority of that like by 6th grade. So, but yeah, no, that kid that beat me up, it was hilarious. It was funny because he was like a bully and stuff, and then afterwards we actually ended up becoming friends, and he stopped being an asshole to everyone around. And that's also how I kind of got like a little bit of notoriety in my 8th grade, is people kind of knew me as that quiet kid that apparently could beat up the kid with muscle. And that's why people actually started to try to talk to me at that point, even though the majority of people I didn't want to talk to, because like they were like a part of groups that either I didn't care about, or I was still kind of petty about the fact that like my ex-best friend treated me like shit and joined a popular group. So I was super petty on popular groups at that point. I was like, fuck those guys, because I used to have a friend and they literally just jacked it from me. So I was like real pissed. But yeah, no, I made a friend that way. Who would have thought, you know? You make a friend by beating up the kid who's trying to beat you up.
Of course. Level 83. Fine. Like, you started like 76, right? You're actually making decent progress.
I think so. I think we established it was gonna take at least like 4-ish parts or something like that. 3-4 parts.
You're making more. You got more levels than I thought you would. I thought this part would probably end up being like 81, maybe.
I don't know if this helped a lot or substantially or anything, but I did get a Teeming Darkness room. I managed to be able to do that, which is of course a large room. That's very
Yeah.
helpful.
I mean, theoretically, though, it would be the same number of Heartless.
Yeah, I know, but sometimes it depends on what kind of Heartless they throw at you. Like, I've gotten a
Yeah.
surprising amount of rooms in this part that have just been like, there's a whole bunch of Neo Shadows, and there's like a whole bunch of Shadows to boot. The Shadows aren't going to give me like a lot, so in comparison.
And
Like
Neo
this-
Shadows are just gonna phase into the ground. So,
Yeah, of course. I wish I had. I need to think of more like stories of my youth. I don't have a lot of them, but I think the ones that I do have are really funny, like the black market of Yu-Gi-Oh cards and Pokemon.
seriously, my school was boring, apparently. Like, I wish I had stories that go over like that. I was like, I really don't. My school life is boring as hell.
In I almost said preschool. Yeah, no, I don't remember anything from that. In not middle school, in elementary school, when my friend like left me as being popular, I tried to be a shithead to basically the entire school just to try to make them like me at that point. I got in a lot of trouble in elementary school, at least until I think like 6th grade. Until I was like, at that point, I was like, I just need to stop, sort of thing. To be fair though, my 4th grade teacher was absolute ass, and my 5th grade teacher was actually super cool, but I just was dumb, and I was just trying to appeal to a group that I definitely shouldn't have given a shit about, and I stopped giving a shit about in 6th grade, and which is great because my 6th grade teacher is still my favorite teacher of all time. So when I see her every year at the end of school, I say hi to her because she still works there, and my middle school is, or my elementary school is literally like a 5-minute walk, something like that. So I always say hi to her at the end of every year. The year over there, obviously. But yeah, I'm gonna end the part here because I don't want to go through more rooms. It's been about an hour, which is good enough.
Yeah,
So yeah, we gained
substantial amount of levels.
yeah, at least 6. I want to say bare minimum, definitely 5. But I'm pretty sure we got about 6.
Yeah, you're 83 now.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure we started at 76. We could have started at 77, but I think we started at 76.
Yeah.
So yeah, in the next part we will be, I think, going for barrel spiders with Sora. I think that's our next goal.
Yeah.
Hopefully that's not too
RNG
bad.
on top of RNG.
Yeah, I'm hoping that one's not too bad. And then after that, of course, more Riku. So thank you all for watching. Sorry about the little jumps. That's more so to Mayo, because for you guys it's half a second, but for everyone else it was like, or for Mayo it was like,
I had to wait like half an hour for one of them.
yeah, it was like I think it was like 20 minutes or something. Unfortunately,
You know, I wasn't clocking it. I didn't even mind that much because, I mean, I had Crypto Necro Dancer. I didn't care.
It's also Thursday, so it's a day where we cannot care about time. So yeah, we will see you guys next year. Say bye.
No.